Hi, good evening, guys. So, yeah, I welcome you to today's session, today's verbal reasoning session 3. Okay. So, this is the batch that goes on. Neha. Okay. We have your recordings and handouts for the previous session, so you can, catch up with that. Okay. Beginning with the instructions, guys, make sure you have a stable internet connection and noise-free environment. And we recommend you to use your earphones for the best experience. Okay. Not only that, please respect your trainer, your classmates, and yourself, and do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. We have these three memberships, that is bronze, silver, and gold. Okay, so you get the following facilities in the bronze membership listed over here. If you want more mock tests and sectional tests, use your pro-university recommendations, smart application tracking, go for the silver membership. Okay, and if you want other facilities like SOP, LOR, and Visa, you can go for the Gold membership very easily. Okay, so if you are interested in any of this, just drop in your details in the chat box and my team will get back to you guys. We have this free profile evaluation that you can book your slot from on the website. Okay, in this you get university shortlisting, course recommendation, country recommendations. Yeah, according to your future aspirations, course of study, career objectives, interests, and any requirements that you put in. A recommendations report is made by our experts for you all at the end of the uh, profile evaluation, and all of the doubt clearance is done for you, like from shortlisting, application, scholarship, all of it. Okay, so yeah, you can just book your slot from our website itself. We have these free live Duolingo classes that goes on from 6:30 to 7:30. It's a 2-week course, online classes, Monday to Friday. You can enroll for these classes from our website itself. You have these IELTS classes, that's a 4-week course, goes on from 7:30 to 8:30. And of course, these are Monday to Friday and online classes. And you get 20 plus hours IELTS live classes and you get recordings of each class. So, guys, you can, sorry, you can enroll for this as well from our website itself. Moving on, you can avail application fee waivers and many more elite features along with expert counseling. Reach us now. And we have this webinar that'll be taking place on Saturday. So I request you all to please register for this webinar, okay, guys? It's going to be a very informative one. So yeah, do register for it. I'm going to drop in the link in the chat box, and it's from 7 to 8, okay? And it'll be taken by our co-founder, Mr. Jaideep Guruchala, okay? Yeah, I've dropped in the link in the chat box. These are a few reviews that we've gotten. Okay, I'll just answer a few queries and then we move forward. Yeah. Okay. Neha, I'll show you where you can get access to the here handouts and the recordings. Just a second. Avadesh, yeah, everything is shared in the Telegram group. I hope you have access to the Telegram group. I'll share the Telegram link again. Just a second. Yeah. Just a minute, please. Yeah. This is the Telegram link. Please use a mobile phone to join. This is our homepage of this is the homepage of ubergrad.com. Go to solutions, go to free profile evaluation and book your slot for the evaluation. Go to store. Okay, you land upon this tab and enroll in these courses that are free for you. That is GRE live classes, Duolingo live classes, and IELTS live classes. Okay, guys, and any of the courses that you want to get access to as well. Okay, coming back to the homepage, guys, you can explore the various features that we have for your education loans, forex card, accommodations, international SIM, US credit card, US bank account. We all have additional services like these, and we have many vlogs uploaded for you all, so you can check all of them out from our website itself. I'll show you. For example, you open Fund Your Masters. Yeah, this is the blog that we've uploaded, so you can check it out. Okay, so yeah, you can just explore the website. We have a lot of information on our website itself, and you can gain so much knowledge from our website only. Okay, moving forward, you need to go over here. You need to go on My Test Preparation, open the GRE Live Classes course, click on View Course. You land upon this tab. For example, okay, Neha, please focus. Okay, and the people who have this is the for the people who whose class, this is the first class for whom, just please focus on this. Then you need to go to verbal ability, for example, week 1. Okay, so the handout is here. Okay, all the recordings is here, all the recordings are here, all of them. Okay, am I clear? Okay, if you go to week 2, that is going on right now, Day 2, day 1 handouts and recordings are available. Today is day 3. The handout is available. The recording will be available by tomorrow morning. Okay. Am I clear? And I'll also show you for yeah. So I've shared the just a sec. Yeah, so you can open quantitative reasoning also. You can do week 1 arithmetic. Handout is available and recording is also available for all the classes. Okay. Now you can catch up for the the classes that you left out so that you can continue. Okay. That cannot happen, Avadesh, because we have 3 classes going on. That is absolutely free of cost. 6:30 to 7:30 Duolingo, 7:30 to 8:30 IELTS, 8:30 to 9:30 GRE. So yeah, I think that is it from my side. If you want to ask any queries, ask me at the end of the session, and I'll just hand over the session to ma'am now. Ma'am, are you there?
Hi, Supriya.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
you can take over.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. Hi, guys. Good evening. I guess everyone doing good. Okay. So here I'm going to share the screen and I'll be starting off with our assumption based questions. Okay. So today we are doing critical reasoning questions. So hence if we are doing critical reasoning question, yesterday we discussed about the structural based questions. Okay. So and then we basically had like in the structural based question, role play question as well as argumentative questions, isn't it? So now let us try to understand more about argumentative questions. Okay, so I'm going to present the screen here. Just give me a second, guys. Yes, here we go. Yeah. So I had said you that we'll be having argumentative questions on the basis of assumptions. We'll be having different questions. So let us discuss about the same here. Okay. So let me slide show you. Yes. Yeah. We saw that yesterday we had find the assumption questions. That is one of the thing. Strengthening question, weakening question, and evaluate the argument question and finding the flaw in this. So as I said, if you want the assumption to happen, so what is that assumption should go with? So let me tell you. So assumption is nothing but, I can say here, premise. This is the formula. Premise plus assumption is equals to conclusion. Okay. So what is that we have? Premise plus assumption is equals to conclusion. Hence, so what will be assumption is equals to? Assumption will also will be equal to. That means whenever you people need to have any assumption, this assumption should be influenced by your conclusion as well as premise here. That means, so when you people take up any assumption, so what is that you need to do? So your conclusion also should be true. That means the assumption should have the essence of conclusion also, premise also. That means you should be influenced by that particular thing. Now we have strengthening question. Strengthen question is what? You need to take an assumption where this assumption will support the conclusion here. What it will be doing? It will be supporting the assumption here. So that is your, what is that, strengthening question. The strengthening question is what? So you have to take up the assumption, so which will strengthen the argument. That means this assumption on the basis of premise, so you should say that yes, definitely the conclusion can takes place. Whereas, so weakening question is what? It says it is also an assumption. Okay, it is also something that you need to consider on the basis of conclusion and premise, where this assumption will not support. It will what? So it will not support. Because of this assumption, so your conclusion have the chances of going wrong here. Okay, so that is called as our weakening. So now I'll show you on examples these particular things, so that you will get better understanding here. Okay, so now let me slide show here again. Yes, now let us do the find the assumption. So this is the question that we have here. Again, what is the technique that we need to use here? So whenever we get any argument, the first and foremost thing that you need to see here is that, so look for what is the conclusion, what is the premise, what is happening, you need to understand here. Okay, so therefore, kindly go through this argument. I don't want you people to look at this question. Kindly go through the argument and identify destructure. You try to deconstruct the same. Kindly do the deconstruction fast, guys, and ping me. I'll just log in through the other device so that I can have your this one answers here. Yeah, deconstruct fast. Yeah. S2, sentence 2 is conclusion. So we saw a few students presenting S2 as conclusion. So premise, Avdesh, I guess you are in all the classes, right? So I had said premise is that immediate reason which has made, which because of which the conclusion tends to happen. So premise is that immediate reason which will make the conclusion to happen here. Okay, so that is your premise. So therefore, now tell me, guys, which is your premise, if at all it is there? So which is your background and which is your conclusion? Okay, so no worries, I'll be telling you. So when news periodicals begin forecasting, line 1 premise, Athiya. Okay, let me tell you. Anish also line this one. Okay, so somebody is answering also. Okay, so when news periodicals begin forecasting a recession, people tend to spend less money on non-essential purchases. What is it trying to say? Avdesh, I request you not to, what is that text when we are conducting the classes, because I may not be seeing your message and I may not be answering it. So it is always recommended that after the class, you kindly post it, and I see that because you are busy messaging, you won't be concentrating in the class. So when news periodicals begin forecasting a recession, people tend to spend less money on non-essential purchases. Here what is it saying? When the news periodicals, they forecast, when they start telling about the recession, it is observed that people will start spending less on the non-essential purchases. We really don't know whether it is this one, what is that, background or premise. Why? Because it is some kind of guesswork is also happening, so some kind of observation is also there. So therefore we are a little bit dicey about this. So therefore let us try to read the next thing and let us get the clarity. Therefore, the perceived threat of a future recession decreases the willingness of the people to purchase the product that they regard as optional or luxury. Yeah, in fact, therefore itself is trying to say some kind of decision, isn't it? Therefore, the second sentence is your what? That contains kind of conclusion, but however it is quite lengthy here. So what we can do, so we can see, we can reread it again and check out what exactly it is. The perceived threat of a future recession, the perceived threat, in the sense, the perceived threat of the future recession decreases the willingness of the people to purchase the products that they, so it is purely conclusion. Those who had said S2 as a conclusion, it is purely your conclusion. Very good, guys. So why this is happening? Because we see that people tend to spend less money on non-essential purchases because when they get to know about the recession. So this entire thing can be your premise there. Why? Because it is an observation. So the first sentence is your premise, the second sentence is your conclusion. So now you need to, what is the question that we have? Which of the following is an assumption on which the argument depends? So now they are asking, what is the assumption on which the argument is depending? What is it saying? Newspapers, what they do? So whenever they forecast the recession, whenever they talk about the recession, people will get influenced and people will stop spending money on your optional or luxury goods here. Okay, so that is what is said here. So this is our assumption. Now, try to see here. So which will be giving this? That means when they publish on newspaper, people will be affected. Okay, so try to see the options and tell me, so which option can go here. However, so we have answers coming in. E we had, so people said D also, few people. So let me tell you, let me explain each one of the option. Okay, so before me releasing the answers, so let me tell you about your this one. What is that? Answers. People do not always agree as to which goods should be considered luxury goods. If they don't agree, if they are not what is that decided about which good is luxury and which is not, then why will they take this thing? Why it is said that, so their option on spending on luxury goods is not this one is lessening. So this assumption we cannot say. If people are not knowledgeable about which is luxury and which is not, then how can they this one, what is that, decide so to spend less? So it is meaningless assumption. If we take B, many more people read news periodicals today than 5 years ago. So what? Are they saying that the number of people so spending on these luxury goods have increased? Are they talking about that? So if they are not talking about that, why are we worried how many people are reading now and how many people were reading before? Why? Because nowhere in our argument, so the numbers of these people who is spending is spoken about. So when it is not spoken about, why do you people take that option as your option there? So hence, so we are not going to pick up B. And C is also on the same grounds. Most people do not regularly read news periodicals. So here they are not telling people reading the newspapers. It is only trying to say that when recession is published on newspaper, people tend to spend less. Here we could have the assumption that the people who spend less would have read the newspaper, or they could have heard it from the other newspaper reader. We don't know how they are getting the information. So whether they are directly reading the newspaper or whether they have been sent. So only what we have, when it is published on the newspapers, people spend less money. So that is what. So here we are nowhere considering. So people do not regularly read newspapers or news periodicals. And one more, in a negative way also it will come. If they don't read regularly the newspaper, then how will they come to know about the forecasting? If they will not come to know about the forecast of the recession, how will they then spend less money on the thing? So it is meaningless option. So therefore we are not taking C as our option. Now we are left with D and E. Now, decreased spending on non-essential goods does not prompt news periodicals to forecast a recession. What is it trying to say? Decreased spendings on non-essential goods does not prompt news periodicals to forecast a recession. See, forecasting the recession will influence people spending on non-essential goods. But say, for example, so now every one of India, so every person in India, so they got to know about this recession. They started spending less on their this one. What is that we can say? The non-essential goods or luxury goods. Because of this, whether the newspapers will stop talking about recession? No, right? Newspapers will be newspapers will be presenting about recession only, right? No matter what it is, whether you people see, newspapers are not forecasting the recession just for the people to spend less. So they are presenting the recession. So because of many other things also, isn't it? So therefore, newspapers will not be influenced even if the people start spending less on the non-essential goods. This assumption you can take it here, isn't it? So you people can take. That means people are influenced by the forecasting, but news periodicals will not be influenced by this particular thing. Okay, so that is what we basically have here. Now, the next thing that we have here is what? At least some of the biggest spending consumer prior to the recession were among those who curtailed their spending after the recession became. It is said, it is clearly said, people tend to spend less. But how does that, we are worried about who is spending less and who is not spending less. They have given a generic idea. People will be spending less as soon as they see the recession. So therefore, this assumption also is not appropriate. Only the thing is what we know that, yeah, so people will be influenced by the newspaper periodicals. Whereas if people stop, what is that? Start spending less. So that doesn't mean that the newspapers will stop presenting about the recession. The newspapers still present about the recession. For example, the COVID cases, when it was high, then also the newspaper was was talking about COVID. When the COVID cases lessened, so then also the newspaper was presenting all the news about COVID. Even today in the newspaper, you will see about the COVID cases, isn't it? So that means what? It doesn't matter. It did not matter whether COVID cases got reduced or not, but still, what is that? About that particular thing, the newspapers will be presenting. It is the same context that you people take it here. Okay, so that means what? Now see, in this option, if you say, or if you take D, it has both the essence of what? Our conclusion also and our premise also. What is that? So decrease spending on non-essential goods. Decrease spending on non-essential means here it is indirectly saying that people were spending less on non-essential goods. Does not prompt news periodicals to forecast a recession. That means that does not improve. So the to stop presenting about the recession. So that means the periodicals are compulsorily presenting about the recession. So that means it has the essence of both your conclusion as well as your this one. What is that? Premise. This is how you need to crack the assumption-based questions. Got it, guys? Now, let us go to the next. This is the cheat sheet. Whatever we did, so we did it in the same manner. Okay. So now let me go on to the strengthening question. As I said, strengthen means supporting. So supporting or strengthening is called as the strengthening question. Now, this strengthening question, what basically you're picking up an assumption that will basically add on to your conclusion. That means that will be supporting. Okay, like a supporter, it will start giving evidences that the conclusion will be true there. But when you're picking up the strengthening idea, be very careful about this. You cannot randomly pick anything and everything here. Okay, so it should again fulfill the needs of conclusion as well as your premise here. So let me take one question and better present this particular thing here. Okay, so what is that we have? This is the question we have. Okay, so kindly go through this question and tell me, so what is your premise, what is your background, and what is your conclusion here? Go through this. Go through, guys, because it should be very interactive class, isn't it? So when we ask you people to go through the question and answer, I want at that time you people to respond. Okay, and concentrate completely in the class. When we are explaining, you people, this one, what is that? Avdesh, previous answer is D. S1 is background. Okay. What did I do now? I was explaining why it was D and why it was not E, Avdesh. Please kindly concentrate and be with the speed of us, okay? Is the assumption the same as... yes, the assumption will have the influence here, Athiya. Okay? Okay, I don't want answers. I just want you people to tell me which is premise, which is your conclusion, and which is your this one. Okay, so then I'll ask answer, then you people tell me the answer. Okay, so now, okay, so I had multiple answers here. Let me try to explain here. At Quest Corp, many employees have quit recently and taken jobs with a competitor. So what has happened here? At Quest Corp, what has happened? Many employees, they have quit recently, it seems, and taken job with the competitor. This is sounding like a background, isn't it? Why? It is like a fact. What has happened? They are presenting that it is like a this one background. It is. So therefore, what we can say, we can right now, let us not decide whether it is a background or what it is, but it is a factual information. We know that. So shortly before the employees quit, Quest Corp lost its largest client. Before this employees quit, what had happened? This Quest Corp, Quisi, had lost its largest client. Clearly. So this is also some kind of action that has happened. Clearly, the employees were no longer confident in Quest Corp's long-term viability. Here, some kind of judgment or some kind of decision is given. Clearly, the employees were no longer confident in Quest Corp's long-term viability. That means what? The employees were not having any confidence in this Quest Corp's long survival. Okay, so why? This is the your this one, what is that? Conclusion. Why it is this conclusion has happened? So because of this, it lost its client. This is the premise, and rest of the things will be your background. You got the argument description, guys? This is very important. Don't neglect this. This deconstruction is very, very, very important. That is the reason I try to tell about every sentence here. Only when you understand this, then only you can answer the question here. So I am again repeating, clearly this is sounding like a decision or a judgment. That is the reason the last sentence, from clearly to viability, is your conclusion. Why this conclusion the author is taking? Because Quest Crop lost its largest client. Because it lost its largest client, what is happening? These employees are not having confidence on this Quest Corp. Okay, and this is the reason. And whatever employees quitting, they are joining other competitors, all these things are background here we have. Now, which of the following, if true, most strengthens the claim? What is the claim? Conclusion what? The last sentence. The employees were not confident, isn't it? In Quest Corp's long survival. So we need to prove that. So we need to take a sentence and we need to prove that the employees were very correct. So in losing confidence in Quest Corp long-term viability. So, and because of that only they quit the job. So now what could be the thing here? Most of you were saying about C answers, isn't it? Okay, Shruti has given B, but I could see many at presented. This one, C has the answers. Let me tell you here. Let me start off with A and let me tell you guys here. Employees at Quest Corp's main competitor recently received a large and well-published raise. See, if the employees in the other companies who were the competitors, so if they got the high or large, well-publicized rise, don't you think that it is not a very a reason for these people to not have confidence? Who knows, we may even assume something like this. Na, this Quest Corp already it was giving some kind of competitive salary, we can think that. So therefore we cannot take this on the given idea. Now B, if you see, Quest Corp's largest client accounted to 40% of sales and nearly 60% of company's profit. That means what? Quest Corp, so which lost its largest client. They are saying na Quest Corp lost the largest client. It accounted for 40% of sales, it seems. That means whatever the products Quest Corp manufactured, that was actually purchased by its largest client by how much? 40%. 40% of the product was sold to this largest client only, because of which it was getting 60% company's profit. That means if Quest Corp got 100 rupees, in that the 60 rupees was from largest client only. That means if largest client is no more with Quest Corp, now what will be happen? You only will have 40 rupees. With this 40 rupees, do you think the employees will have the confidence that the company will survive for a long time? No, right? So that means this is the strengthening idea. This is strengthening. It is actually adding on why this employees lost this one confident in Quest Corp, because it lost its largest client, and this largest client was basically what is that, dealing with 60% of the profits that was from the largest client. Okay, so that is the reason B should be the answer. However, let me explain C as why it is not an answer here. Many prospective hires who have interviewed with Quest Corp ultimately accepted jobs with other companies. Are we worried? What was the claim? The claim was that employees are no longer confident. Okay, we need to say why these employees were no longer confident. We had a premise, it lost its client. We are not bothered who is taking up the job with Quest Corp or who is not taking up the job with Quest Corp. It is only what is the claim. They're asking how do you strengthen the claim? Okay, so the claim is what? The employees were no longer confident in QC's long-term viability. Why they were not confident? They had a reason. It lost the largest client. And how? The largest client actually gave more profit to the company. If now that more profit is gone, obviously what the employees will feel, that it is not the right place to work in. It loses the confidence there. So therefore B is the right thing. About the hiring and all these things, actually it is not related to our query, isn't it? Got it, guys? Good. This is what. So you need to see, some of the answers will be so attractive, we may think that it may go on, but actually what is the claim? That is the reason I'm always saying, please deconstruct the argument. If you don't deconstruct, if you don't identify the conclusion and premise, you will be ending up taking wrong options. Okay. So please understand the importance of identifying the claim as well as premise here. Okay. The next thing that we have. Yes. This is what, which of the following if true would cast doubt? Weakening. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Payal. So what happens once you do the deconstruction? Actually, the like what is that? Obviously, the options are very tricky. In these options, you need to concentrate on every word, dear. It is not like we just randomly read and we pick it up. Here they are actually playing with the language. Okay. So therefore, be very cautious and mindful when you are picking up the ideas. Okay. So corporation, corp means it is corporation, Avadesh. Avadesh, I always advise you, please listen. I guess you are busy typing the questions. Okay. Please concentrate what we are saying here. So when you concentrate what we are saying, it will become very easy for you to understand the things. In fact, everyone. Okay. So please concentrate on what we are explaining. We have this doubt clearing session. At that time, you people can post the questions. Okay. Now, otherwise, when we ask you to answer, then you people can start posting the questions. Now, this is weakening thing. Weakening means what? We need to weaken the conclusion. For example, so like what will weaken our body? What will weaken our body? Not having the food. Okay. So, and not exercising or overeating. So, all this weakens our body, right? So, here also, like what is that? We see that, uh, like what is that? So, basic, yeah, invasion of germs. So everything. These are the things that we basically have. Here also, if we have to weaken, that means what? We need to showcase that the conclusion cannot happen. Okay. Due to some XYZ reason, so the conclusion cannot happen. But this XYZ reason should again have the influence of premise and your conclusion. We can't say the premise is not wrong, premise is wrong and the conclusion itself is wrong. You can't take direct negation. Okay. You need to take the situation in which, so it should be indirectly presented that the situation or the conclusion cannot happen here. Now, this is the question that we have here. You can just go through the question. The national infrastructure for airport, runways, and air traffic control requires immediate expansion to accommodate the increase in smaller private planes. It is trying to say, what is that? Yeah, yes, Atya, can you repeat the question? Weakening is same as doubting, casting more doubt. So yes. So now I could see like few students are presenting the deconstruction. Very good, guys. So very nice that you people are proactive here. Very good. Yeah, weakening is same as counter premise. Very good. Very true. So now, yeah, let me, I could see like many of the students premise it is. Vidhi, it is premise, it is not premide. Okay. Yeah, I guess you corrected. The national infrastructure for airport, runways, and air traffic control requires immediate expansion to accommodate increase in smaller private planes. Oh, this is like a suggestion. If it is suggestion or if it is like a decision, so it is looking more of like decision. Now many of us may get confused. It could be our conclusion even for a second. So when I'm reading the first sentence, even I am thinking, oh, because it is a kind of decision, it could be our conclusion. However, let us not freeze this. Okay, to help fund this expansion, see, we have some twist here. To help fund this expansion, the Federal Aviation Authority has proposed a fee for all air travelers. Now we got the ache of it. See, it has proposed a fee for all air travelers. Why? To fund this expansion. Now, we now very clear that first part is not our conclusion. However, we have a twist again. This fee would be unfair as it would impose cost on all travelers to benefit only the few who utilize the new private planes. Now, here is a twist. Which is your conclusion and which is your premise? You will be surprised to see that the premise and conclusion is in the same sentence. That means, however, so this fee would be unfair. This is our conclusion. Why it is unfair? Why they are saying it is unfair? Because this travel benefits, this expansion is only benefiting few people who utilize the new private planes. That means the most of the people won't use private planes. So for them it is unfair. So the immediate reason is that so not everyone will be utilizing this expansion. So therefore, the fee is unfair. This is our premise. This is our conclusion. Now, rest of the thing is our background. Got it, guys? They are all not premises. I could see like you people had given premises them. But now did you understand? Premise and conclusion can even appear in one sentence only. It is not always different lengthy sentences you will be having. So you can have them in one single sentence also. This is the thing basically we have here. Now, which of the following, if true, would cast the most doubt on the claim that the proposed fee would be unfair? So now they have only given the this one claim here. Proposed fee is unfair. So should be weakened here. That means we need to say that we should not we should have a doubt that this statement is not correct. Okay, why? That means what? We need to feel that whatever the proposed fee is there, that is unfair. That is not unfair. Okay, so if that is not unfair, that means what? So people, even other people will be benefited out of this expansion. We need to prove here what? Even other people will also be benefited by this expansion. Only if they are benefited, then only it won't be unfair, right? So that is what you need to prove here. That means what? This thing, you saw this is the conclusion and this is your premise. So the premise was saying it was only benefit for few people. If I want to weaken this argument, I need to go in the opposite direction. That means I need to say that this expansion will be beneficial for every person. Hence, this fee will not be unfair. Please pick up. I have given almost the answer only. Pick up the right answer now. I could see few of them presenting the answers. Yes. So did you see here? See, why see here? The expansion would reduce the number of delayed flights resulting from small private planes conjecting runways. That means delayed flights. Why it is happening? Because of small private planes. If these private planes have, if they are given a separate place, okay, for accommodation, then the normal flights will not be delayed. If the normal flights are not delayed, then the regular passengers will be under advantage. They will not be wasting their time. Okay. So if they don't waste time, that means they are under benefit, isn't it? So that means what? If they are under benefit, then it is fair for them to pay the extra cost there. So C is the best answer that you people can take it. Got it, guys? Any doubt on this thing, on this weakening part? Again, see, when we are weakening, we should not so kind of what is that, we straight away say something opposite to your this one premise, or opposite to the this one, what is that, I can say your conclusion. For example, if you see A, the existing national airport infrastructure benefits all the air travelers, it is just opposite to the statement here. Okay, so here what is it? It is saying the new airport is actually benefiting new private planes. That is true. Okay. So, but here they are saying already the whatever the airport facilities we have, infrastructure, that is benefiting all air travelers. That means even private plane owners and travelers also will be benefited. Then why they want to have the this one? That means it is condemning the premise only here. So that is the reason. So we can take out A. So anything that condemns the conclusion and the premise, you should take it out. And also they are trying to say here itself is, it is saying the national infrastructure for this one requires immediate expansion. That means it has some loophole. How can you say that it is benefit? It has a loophole. That is the reason they're planning to expand. So, but if everything is good, then why they are planning that? So therefore this A is out of the box. The fee, if imposed, will have negligible impact on the overall volume of air traveler. Are we talking about, so like because of this fee, like whether people will be not using the airlines or not? That is not our agenda. So it is meaningless, weakening idea. So let us not take this one. C, I explained. D, let me tell you, travelers who use small private planes are almost uniformly wealthy or traveling on business. So how does that affect? Who is using private planes? Who is not using private planes? Do you think that is the agenda we have? We need to say that whatever the fee which they are planning to put on every air traveler should be fair enough. Okay, it is not unfair. We need to prove that it is fair. So therefore, we don't. It doesn't matter who is using private planes and who is not using private plane, isn't it? So that is the thing. So we will not be taking this. A substantial fee would need to be imposed in order to pay for expansion. That is already there, na? A substantial fee, like for expansion, it is there. Why you people want to say, repeat it again? It is not at all required here. Got it, guys? And this is the cheat sheet for your strengthening. Okay. And this is the cheat sheet for your weakening. Any doubts you have in this? Okay, just 1 second. Yeah. Okay, you want me to show the cheat sheet again? I'll show it again. Just 1 second. Yeah, this is for weakening. You people can take a screenshot also if you want. But did you guys take the screenshot? And this is your argument. Strengthening. You can take this this one. Yes. And then this is for your Describe the assumption based question. This is the cheat sheet. Got this? Right. Now, you guys got the things? Did you guys understand? Any doubts, guys? Avdesh, all this time, what was I doing? I was explaining only, right? Right. Anyone with any kind? Thank you, Payal. Thank you. We'll try to do more examples tomorrow. Okay, so that means because we have explained everything we have, and we'll start doing the this one. Okay. Yes, tomorrow's class, you people can resolve your queries on them. Okay, right. So, any other queries with regards to these questions and all, or the technique and everything? Yeah, so that is the challenge, Vidhi. Basically, what you can see, the questions will be very confusing. Okay, you need to be very, very, what is that? Cautious. Understand. So, reading is not just randomly reading. Okay. So, it is not just randomly reading. That is the reason I say when you people are reading, also don't just mark the keywords. Okay. Keywords will not work there. You need to understand the key ideas. You would have seen, you would have observed, after you get this recording, you see the dramatic way of me reading the question. I try to use that pauses wherever comma is there, wherever this one is there. So I'll try to, what is that, read that in detail. I'll try to understand, okay, that is what we need to do here. So read the this one, what is that, uh, questions properly, understand what is the requirement of the question. Okay, and when you're doing the practices also, see like what type of questions will be in different forms. Okay, so that is also one of the thing that you people need to notice. And yes, so once you read the question, don't look at the options, as I've been telling, even for our this one, what is that, RCs also, and even so for our this one CRs also. Don't try to, what is that, read the options immediately after reading the question. That is pretty dangerous. Why it is dangerous means, because see, we all have short term this one, short term memory. That means when you read the question, immediately if you read the options, your question essence will be disturbed there. You may remember some of the like, what is that, attractive words, attractive ideas that is present in your options. Okay, that means you may miss on the question, you may miss the essence of the question. If you miss the essence of the question, you are lost there. When you get back to the passage, you will be seeing that these mixed ideas somewhere it will be there, and you think that, oh, this could be my answer, and you will come and pick the answer randomly. So you cannot contaminate your brain, your question, by external ideas. Okay, that is the reason. Be very pristine. So when you're reading the question, once you read the questions, once you understand the question, get back to the spot, get your shadow answer, and that answer you come and compare with the options. Then you will see that so the option that matches 100% should be your answer here. Okay, so you will not get confused there. So try to follow this method. Try to leave your old method of reading question and reading options at a time. Okay, guys? This is the thing basically we need to do it. Atya, so I would say right now, if you're practicing, I would not tell you people to look for time. I want you people to attain accuracy. That means, so if you're solving 25 questions, at least till the time you get that 20 and above questions correct, I don't want you people to limit yourself for any timeline. Why? Because you are developing yourself, you are trying to understand the language. So that is the reason. So now don't concentrate on timeline, but yes, definitely after you people practice, attain that accuracy, so approximately 1 minute will be dedicated for one question. Got it? Right. Any further queries, guys, you people have? Okay. Okay, guys, then we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you for the session, ma'am.
Supriya, welcome, Supriya.
Ma'am, there is one more question, I guess.
Okay, how similar solving questions from GMAT book and relevant for Vidhi? Let me tell you, you will be surprised to see that many of the GMAT questions will be repeated in GRE, and many of the GRE questions will be repeated in GMAT. So it's all this is almost the same, Vidhi. Okay, in the main exams, I'm telling, in main exams you will find in GRE GMAT questions, and in GMAT you will find your GRE questions. Okay, right, guys.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for the session. I hope you have no more queries now. Yeah.